Fooginis. Today we are doing a chef versus chef again. I am currently undefeated, but Brett is going to try to take me off of my pedestal today.
That's right, I really have to step it up today, so I'm getting wild and crazy. No more simple dishes for me. Stick around. The main course today is super interesting and not something anybody would ever consider a focal point of a dish. Celeriac. It's what the celery stalks grow out of.
It is actually one of my favorite things. We discovered it because we get a CSA. And so towards the end of the season, after you've already eaten all of the delicious celery, you kind of get these bad boys. Super underrated food item, but if you can find them, they are like all the flavor of celery, but easier to incorporate into like soups and stuff and blend up. So.
Right, a little bit more of a root vegetable with a strong celery flavor. If you haven't seen our celery salt focused video, Chicago hot dog made out of a pickle bun, check that video out over here. So.
All right, Brett, so we're doing chef versus chef again. Do you want to do a reveal of our dishes? Since they're locked in.
They're locked in, yeah. We currently do not know what each other is making still.
We, again, following the same rules as the burger video, we could use anything we have in our house, which I will add for our viewers, like, we get a weekly CSA, we always have a ton of vegetables around, so we basically have unlimited access to vegetables, and then we give ourselves $5 to go to the store and buy any other kind of specialty ingredients that we want to really elevate our dishes.
Might have been $6 this week.
Might have been $5.88. We actually get super competitive about this. We're like doing research in different rooms in our house, like hiding from each other to come up with our dishes. And Brett actually was going to make something else, and then he thought I was going to make it because we don't consult with each other. Right. And so he changed his, and then I hear there were some regrets about changing it.
Right, I think what I was going to do originally was going to be like a slam dunk.
So what are you making today?
This one is super risky. So I'm doing, it's like roasted celeriac, so it's a long roast in this. It's prepared in a rock salt. When it's cooked in the oven, so it like draws a lot of the moisture and cooks it a little bit differently than you would normally have in like a regular pan. And then I'm doing cured egg yolk custard.
A cured egg yolk custard.
Cured egg yolk custard.
All right, say that 5 times fast. That sounds very good.
Yeah, so we'll see how it turns out.
So, do you know what happened in October 3 years ago?
3 years ago?
Yeah.
We didn't get married.
We did get married.
3 years ago?
Yeah.
No, it was like 2 years ago.
We had a lobster bisque for dinner. I don't know if you remember that, but I do because it's the best thing I've ever had. So inspired by that, I was like, well, I need to make celeriac the star, but I'm going to make a celeriac bisque topped with roasted lobster.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of risky because bisques for me either turn out super delicious or they turn out to be a disaster.
That sounds super good. Wow, I was trying to go over the top and she's got lobster. So, yeah. All right, never mind.
It was on sale for $5.88, which was very exciting. All right, Brett, so you got a pan there with some parchment paper?
That's right, and I'm gonna lay down like a bed of like salt. I'm just using regular kosher salt.
So I already went ahead and I chopped up my celeriac. That is the majority of what is in my measuring cup here, and then I have some onion, some potato, and some jalapeno. All of that is basically just going to, once I get my butter and olive oil kind of heated up and nice and melty, I'm gonna dump all of this in to simmer for about 10 minutes. And then I'm going to add another secret ingredient, which I couldn't afford to buy. And then luckily, last night we had a dinner party, and my friend was like, oh, I can just leave the rest of that wine here.
How convenient.
So I got my white wine that I can go ahead and add, and then I'll just kind of let that reduce, soak into the vegetables. Once most of the liquid has evaporated, then I'll go ahead and put the stock in and really get this soup cooking. And it is a Moscato. It's not what I would typically cook with. I would usually do like a Pinot Grigio, but you know what? We are balling on a budget today. Beggars cannot be choosers, so I'm gonna rock this anyways, and I think it might add like a nice sweetness to my bisque anyways, so I think it'll be good.
All right, so I just covered my celeriac here in a little bit of olive oil, just to make sure that it doesn't like get too dried out in the oven, because we're gonna be roasting this on 350 for 30 minutes, and then we're gonna turn it over and roast it for another 30 minutes, so it's a long cooking process for that bad boy.
My soup's gonna be done by then.
Well, too bad.
Our roles reversed this week.
That's right. Long cook times. That's why I thought it was extra glamorous, because it took so long to make it. So I'm going to do 2 egg yolks, and they're going to cure covered in salt, both in the top and bottom, fully surrounded, touching on all sides, for 45 minutes. And that'll like help them like firm up a little bit. Here's them. And then after that, we're going to mix them together with like in like a sauce with a little bit of butter, a little bit of Dijon mustard, a couple things. It's going to come together and make this like super rich, decadent, delicious sauce that we're going to pour all over our delicious celeriac.
So that's why you just said we happen to need more Dijon at the store, because you didn't want that to count towards
Last
your $5
week, yeah,
allotment.
like a week ago when we went to the grocery store, I was like, oh, we just happen to be out of Dijons.
My vegetables are just sauteing over in the butter there. It's starting to smell really good in here. Very easy. I don't have a lot of work today. Maybe I'll pour myself a glass of wine while I'm waiting, because I don't really know what else to do when you're doing all these complicated things.
Oh no, we have a disaster.
Oh man, yolk down. Well, why don't you just get a different egg?
We got to do a different egg. See, this is why you crack things in the bowl.
Friends helping friends. Friends, that's what we are.
I know, if this one breaks, I'm blaming it on you.
There we go.
That one's
hey,
pretty good.
That's, perfect. So that's a different method than I've ever used to get the snot off of it. I always do like the back and forth in the eggshell. And you're just pulling loogies off. Is it egg white or is it mountain yam? If you haven't seen that video and you're really interested in making things out of snot, go watch our okonomiyaki video. To date, it is one of my favorite things we have ever made.
The most tasty food we've ever cooked in this kitchen. All right, so now we've got these like 2 beautiful eggs on the plate here, and now I just need to coat them in the salt.
Are you trying to use the entire box of salt today?
Yeah, this is also why we had to go to the grocery store and get salt last week.
Yeah, So my wine is back there, basically just almost absorbed. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my next step, which is finally adding my celery root to the soup and then seasoning it a little bit. So I'm gonna do some salt, some cayenne pepper, and some mustard. And I gotta say, the recipe that I'm loosely following was like, use 1/4 teaspoon. For an entire pot of soup, I'm gonna dump in like 4 tablespoons of cayenne and you're gonna like it. Celery came out of the oven. It's been roasting for an hour. I had to go read a book for a while. My soup's just been simmering, doing its thing, easy peasy.
Yep.
And now I can finally start doing something else. So I'm gonna start prepping my lobster.
So I'm gonna do a couple things while you're doing that. I need to rinse off these egg yolks, which we'll see how that goes because I still think they're pretty soft. And then I mix it with some Dijon mustard, some lemon juice that I already squeezed, and then once that's all mixed together, I'm gonna slowly drip in some melted butter and whisk it all together so it kind of forms up like an emulsion and makes a sauce.
Nice, and you know what else lemon juice is good for?
Your water?
Apple crisp.
Apple crisp.
Which you didn't believe me. It turned out amazing. We even gave it to some friends. They thought it was amazing. So go check out that video.
Right in the card above here.
You wouldn't know to use lemon juice, but it has lots of purposes.
One of our favorite desserts. All right, so I just washed the salt off of these bad boys. They're a little bit firmer to the touch. One got a little runny while I was washing the salt off. You know, feel it? It's like plasticky kind of.
Oh, interesting. It has like a film on it.
Yeah, basically. So the inside's just a little bit, I mean, the whole thing's a little bit goopier.
And you know, I just love eating plastics.
Yeah, yummy plastic.
So Brad's been messing around with his egg yolks, and I'm just going to use my kitchen scissors and cut open my lobster tail. I'm going to kind of butterfly it a little bit, and then I'm just going to go ahead and roast it. I don't even know if I would like lobster if it didn't mean that it came with like copious amounts of garlic butter. So my lobster has a nice layer of garlic butter on it. I'm just going to go ahead and put it under the broiler for about 10 minutes, 5 to 10. I'm gonna keep a close eye on it. With broilers, you can never be too sure that you're not gonna open it up and everything's gonna be black.
All right, so I'm slowly drizzling the butter into my sauce and trying to mix, well, the cured egg yolks with this little whisk don't really want to break up and dissolve, and I think the right answer is to use like an immersion blender. But it's really coming together. I mean, it's looking pretty good. It's looking more saucy like as I've added the butter in here, and it's lightened up in color.
Brett, can I go ahead and try this since it's the sauce of my dreams?
All right, let's both try it because I don't know what this is going to turn out like.
Very creamy.
It's really rich.
Very rich.
There's a little bit of lemon flavor.
A little lemon.
There. I really didn't add a lot.
So a little of that Dijon taste.
A little bit, but it really is going to come together.
It's like a Hollandaise almost.
It really is just like a Hollandaise, only with cured egg yolks.
That made it easier to make the Hollandaise.
It did, yeah. I had no problem making this come together whatsoever.
Yeah, actually, I would just make Hollandaise like this every time in the future now.
Yep, very easy. Just uses a lot of salt. All right, so I have an extra special like crumble on mine. Mine finally came out of the oven, and then we peel it, and then we slice it up, and then we actually put it back in the oven for another 10 minutes at 400. All right, so I'm gonna cut off the top, and then I'm gonna cut off the bottom. Yeah, and then I'm gonna trim around the skin on the outside. And I want to keep this because I'm going to put it in the blender and I'm going to turn it into like breadcrumbs basically. So it's going to turn into more or less like a paste.
The skin?
Yeah, and then I'm going to fry it up.
Did you wash it?
Huh? Yeah.
We're going to be in dirt?
It's all, yeah, dirt's good for you.
I just checked my lobster. It's nice and smoky in here now, so maybe that'll come through on the camera, maybe not.
What's going wrong?
But no, it's looking really good. With lobster, you can kind of look, and if it's still translucent, it means it needs to be cooked more because lobster meat when it's cooked is white. There was just a little bit of that in the middle, so I popped it back under the broiler for about another minute and a half, so that'll bring my total to about 6.5 minutes of cooking, and then it should be ready to go. All right, so you have some specks of something, and I have this beautiful lobster, so I don't know.
Yeah, I have like basically a little bit wet of breadcrumbs. So this is what the skin turned into. So I'm gonna fry these up. It's gonna take about 5 minutes of me just like stirring the pan, basically toast these, turn them a little crispy, and then it'll be a nice crispy, crunchy texture for the topping for my dish.
And with this, you're just gonna slice and bake?
Yeah, with this, yeah, I'm just gonna slice it into some pieces here, 1/4 to 1/2 inch chunks here, slice it up, and then I'm gonna put this in the oven and I'm gonna bake it for about 10 minutes on 400, just to kind of like get them a little bit more crispy.
By the way, I taste tested my bisque, and whew, babe, it's good. Whew, this lobster's coming right out, which is really nice. It means that it's cooked well, detaching easily. There we go.
That's it. That's all you got for like $6.
$5.88. Boy, is it smelling good in here. I don't know if it's me or you.
It's
or
definitely
what.
my side of the table, I think.
Yeah.
Mine's a lot of toppings and focused on the sauce, as am I. All about the toppings, love my sauces. What do you have going on here? You just
So I have my bisques, and a lot of people do like soup shooters, but that's never enough soup. So I figured, why not wine glasses of soup?
Right? You just turned that wine you used earlier in the recipe into really thick, goopy wine.
And then I just have my lobster to top it off.
For dipping? Okay.
To top it off.
So I'm just going to sprinkle these bad boys with some of these crusty, hopefully they taste good. Haven't tried them yet, so I'm just going to sprinkle them all over it just in case anyway. Aren't you going to try these?
Sure, because I'm done. So.
They taste like dirt.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they actually taste kind of good.
Mm-hmm.
They don't taste like what the peel would taste like in the first place.
No, they're, yeah, interesting topping.
Okay, so I got plenty on there for that. And then I've got some green onions that I'll top on at the very end. But here I'm going to drizzle some of my sauce on. Oh yeah, it's nice and pretty thick sauce.
Mm-hmm. Are you not just putting all of that sauce on there?
I might. I mean, that doesn't look like enough, right?
No. We're never going to get to eat. I think because mine was done first, and then because I'm reigning champion, it's only fair to start with mine.
All right, I agree.
So.
Wow, there's lobster shell in mine. Oh God.
Oh, here,
It's
switch,
everywhere.
switch.
Oh, the celeriac is like actually really prominent in the soup.
So you said I had to be like the feature of the show.
It had to be like the primary focus, which obviously I have like steaks of celeriac here.
But on the same token, this is a celeriac for sure bisque. It's a little spicy because of the celeriac.
It is a little bit spicy.
And a little bit of the cayenne.
It's not like hot spicy, right?
No, it's just a good,
Yeah.
This is like, you know, it's turned to fall here. It's been a little cold out, a little rainy, and this is like the perfect cold and rainy day soup.
It's good hot. I don't know if it would be as good cold. All right, so I've been avoiding the lobster so far, so.
Get
should
a
I
piece,
get
yeah.
Get a big old piece of the lobster here. Shell.
Shut up.
That's good. It's a good balance. So you get the creamy richness of the lobster that was cooked in that garlic butter sauce, right? That really buttery flavor on the lobster. Every bite, you don't even have to dunk it. And then it balances out with the spicy kind of creaminess of the rest of the soup. I would say this is a really good soup.
Yeah.
It's similar to like a butternut squash soup as far as like thickness and like maybe even like a little bit of a tang, spiciness. So I think this is a winner that I would make again.
I said in the beginning, like I was either going to nail it with a bisque or I was going to fall over with a bisque because I'm very hit or miss, but somehow this bisque is like exactly what I want a bisque to be.
I keep eating it, right? Like I try and not eat like every single 2 seconds, but it's pretty good.
It's good. All right. Well,
So let's see what concoction I came up with.
all right, Brett. So you did not have the oversight to think I should do 2 different plates, so I have to share with you.
That's right. So we're just going to dig in and right off
Now,
the
is there
bat.
any more of that sauce?
Oh yeah,
Can I just like get a refresh all over?
hard on the sauce here, so.
Yeah, there we go. And I got crumbs on mine. I got the chives.
Your soup and my sauce kind of look very similar.
They do.
So
All
we got
right.
crumbs, got some chives. I'm gonna dunk mine a little bit, get some extra sauce.
That is Hollandaise sauce, so you are cheating
Yeah.
because that is my favorite food. This is really interesting. It reminds me of like, you know, eggs Benedict, but instead
It
of
is similar.
you know, biscuit and prosciutto, it's just like celeriac, but it's really good. Your celeriac did not get spicy like mine. I added some cayenne to pull out that inner spice. You added the salt, which I think kind of helped like mellow it out a little bit.
It might have, yeah.
This is really good.
Yeah. I think next time I would have sliced it a little bit thinner, maybe even. Because these pieces, it's not like it's soft. It's like got a little bit of a chew to it still. The sauce is great. The crumbles are actually really good too. I think that does add a lot to this. The chives aren't adding a whole lot, but
To me,
color.
the sauce is the star of your dish. It is just like elevating everything, knocking it out of the park.
My steaks are prime focus. You can't say I cheated.
Oh no, no. I'm not saying you're cheating. I'm just saying like the sauce is so good. It's like forcing me to continue eating.
Wow.
It's very good. That is extremely good. I feel like this would be a fantastic like brunch item.
And you wouldn't even know this is celeriac, right? Like nobody
No.
heard of a celeriac. You'd never think to do this with celeriac. But I think it turned out like really good, especially
Yeah.
as like a meat replacement if you're looking for that. I think this is like a great like thing to eat that nobody would know what it is, and it's like pretty heavy, right? It's like pretty meaty.
All right, so I am starving. I want to go finish eating, but we have to declare a winner. I honestly don't even know what to do here because I think these were both super delicious dishes.
I would probably still give. I think I used the ingredient a little bit more effectively, and you cheated with your lobster, like trying to steal the show. The celeriac is like actually really prominent in the soup.
To me,
color.
the sauce is the star of your dish.
But I also think that the sauce that or the soup that you made by itself tasted very, very good without the lobster.
I don't think my lobster stole the show though because it was a garnish.
Mm-hmm.
Like it
It's
wasn't
saying,
like
no. My chives stole the show over here, so I know we're in the same boat.
yeah. So I would give it to you because one, I think you need the victory. But no.
The sympathy win. Okay.
In all seriousness, I think this is a very interesting dish that I would have never thought, where a bisque is something a little bit more safe. So I think because you went riskier and you made something, you used the celeriac peel. So in terms of like, I threw that away. So in terms of using the whole vegetable, you really did it all. You used every bit of it. If we were on Chopped, I think they would really appreciate that as well.
Right. If chopped rules, yes, I'd say I win. I went the less safe route, and I did use the whole vegetable. That's
Yeah.
true. All right, fine. I'll take the win.
Yeah,
I'll take
and
your
really
sympathy
it's
win.
because you made the Hollandaise sauce. All right, so we're 1-1. Let us know in the comments below what we should go head-to-head on next. So we did Burger Battle. If you haven't seen that one, go watch that one. And now we did a Celeriac Battle. So who knows what we're going to do next. But go ahead and leave a comment below if you have any suggestions. Go ahead and hit that like button. And make sure you're subscribed to our channel so that you see more videos. And if you want to see some of our recents, go ahead and click over here or here. And thanks so much for tuning in this week. Bye!